Enacting or invoking forgiveness. In this chapter, you will learn the guidelines for forgiveness and a simple affirmation you can complete in the privacy of your own home to enact or invoke this powerful law. I will refer to this process as the forgiveness affirmation technique. In addition, I have included just a few of many stories from readers and workshop participants about the great energy shifts and results they have experienced while utilizing the law of forgiveness. Keep in mind that not one of these people contracted the persons they were forgiving. They say their affirmation in the privacy of their own home. Guidelines for forgiveness. Forgiveness 101. Who should I forgive? You should forgive everyone you can remember, living or deceased, from the sandbags right through today. They say an additional forgiveness affirmation for anyone you may have forgotten. You can also forgive institutions, political parties, governments, etc. However, remember that people run these organizations. When all the layers of the are peeled back, it is still a relationship that we are talking about. It is still a person or persons you are forgiving. How do I know I need to forgive? You know you need to forgive on if you feel or think you might feel anger, hurt, or resentment toward them. The first person that popped into your head when you read this is obviously the person you need to begin with, and then proceed in the order that people come to your mind. I can guarantee you that the person with whom you are most angry, resentful, and unforgiving will pop into your head immediately. What if someone needs to forgive me? If you have hurt someone and would like their forgiveness, you can use the forgiveness affirmation that I have provided at the end of this chapter. This affirmation is the same as the affirmation you need to say to forgive others. You are just replacing the words I or me with the word you and their name. You can still free energy by saying this affirmation. You can also forgive or be forgiven by those who have already passed on. Catherine decided to say an affirmation for her grandfather, whose forgiveness she was seeking. She had an argument with him years ago, and although her godfather had already died, Catherine wanted to seek release for an old emotional wound. She said she felt a sense of peace after saying the forgiveness affirmation and felt the past was healed. Forgiveness is something you do for yourself. First and foremost, many people have many wrong ideas about forgiveness. They think to forgive means condoning the wrong done against them. They believe they have to contact the people who hurt them and get them involved. They think that forgiveness is something you do for the other people, that is a selfless act. While all this sounds noble, it's simply not true. First, forgiveness does not negate bad behavior. Forgiveness does not mean you agree with or accept how you were treated. Forgiveness is not to be confused with pardon. People should still be held responsible for their behavior, whether it is immoral, unethical, illegal, or legal, or all three. When you forgive, you are releasing yourself from the person and their actions on an energetic level. Forgiveness actually places power back in your hands. Forgiveness also does not mean you will allow that person to treat you in a manner you don't deserve again. Later in the book, I will discuss the effects of forgiveness on justice. One of the most amazing discoveries I found in the working with the forgiveness technique is that it actually allows for whatever justice is supposed to happen to move into place. Second, you certainly do not have to get in touch with the person you are forgiving. Sometimes the people you need to forgive are not around. They could be in other states, other countries, or even no longer living. Those you forgive don't necessarily have to know you have forgiven them. The important thing is that you let go and free yourself from the anger and resentment. Most of my students and readers are so relieved when they discover they do not need to contact the people they plan to forgive. You can actually see the relief on their faces. When you make your list of the people you plan to forgive, you can use the forgiveness technique right in the privacy of your own home. Finally, forgiveness is actually a selfish act. This does not mean it's a negative act. Far from being negative, it's one of the most loving and positive things you can do for yourself as well as for others. When people hear the words positive selfishness, they think it's an oxymoron. We have been taught by our elders that being selfish is negative and harmful. It takes people a while to wrap their brains around the idea that the act of forgiving is to better their own life, that it is selfish in a way that brings good and happiness. When you release old hurts and resentments, immediately new, fresh, positive energy is made available to you to help meet your goals and dreams. When you feel more peaceful, your vibrational level changes in such a manner that those around you feel and benefit. The most amazing thing I have learned is that when you forgive, it breaks the negative energy bond between you and the people of your forgiveness. They are affected positively as well. It is surprising to see the number of people in my workshops who are resistant to the whole idea of forgiveness. Many people have been nursing old hurts for so many years. They seem like companions, but I explain that forgiveness frees energy so that your dreams can come true. Forgiveness is not about other people, it is all about you and getting all about your desire. Trisha was a participant in the class. Her first marriage has failed and she blamed herself for it. In addition, she had recently ended a relationship with a man. When she had caught him cheating, she had thought she would be marrying this man, and to top it off, he also owed her money. Needless to say, Trisha had some forgiving to do. Once she finally realized forgiveness would help her meet her own goals for the future, she was on board. Her goals were a new relationship with a monogamous partner, a new job, and a new house. Amazingly, she met a man with the attributes she was looking for in that very class. Considering that this was a small class with only 5 participants, that feat was even more astonishing. Trisha manifested a new job right away and has now moved into her newly built home. So this is for today. If you like this audio, you can subscribe it at least 5%. Thank you so much. Thank you for being with me in this journey of forgiveness. Thank you.